Hey everyone, hope you're doing good. Hope your day is good. I worked very hard today, and now it's time to read the Quran. Alright, picking up where we left off in Nisa, and we were starting on number 35. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. If ye fear a breach between them twain, appoint 2 arbiters, one from his family and the other from hers. If they wish for peace, Allah will cause their reconciliation. For Allah hath full knowledge and is acquainted with all things. So that's a very unique way to handle disputes, no? And then I also annotated 37. Nor those who are cheap or enjoin cheapness on others, or hide the bounties which Allah hath bestowed on them. For we have prepared for those who resist faith a punishment that steeps them in contempt. Wow. Punishments that steeps you in contempt if you're overly cheap. They had another word here, but if you say that word, you get banned on YouTube, or the woke mob will come after you. So I had to change it. So, quid pro quo there. No, not quid pro quo. FYI, sorry. FYI, for your information. I also put a dot next to 38, so let's see what I... Nor those who spend of their substance to be seen of men. So if you're spending it just to be flashy, right? Floyd Mayweather, anyone? But have no faith in Allah in the last day. If any take the evil one for their intimate, what a dreadful intimate he is. Indeed, right? And then I also annotated on 43 the line, For Allah doth blot out sins and forgive again and again. That's a beautiful thing. Blot it out and try your best to stop repeating it. Okay, I mean, it's very great to just review, see like what the brain focused in on. It's quite... Oh, and then on 60, I underlined the line, To the evil one, though, they were ordered to reject him, but Satan's wish is to lead them astray, far away from the right. Yeah, and we forget. We mock it, we laugh. Maybe not me and you, but others. The commons you know. And then on 66, I put a dot next to it. If we had ordered them to sacrifice their lives or to leave their homes, very few of them would have done it. But if they had done what they were actually told, it would have been best for them, and would have gone farthest to strengthen their faith. Quite interesting. To leave your homes. Because your home is comfy, your lives, it's like you want to grasp onto the world. But sometimes there's bigger things in the world, right? I mean, some people might say, oh, that's extreme. We literally tell firefighters, policemen, and soldiers to do that. We literally tell them, like, hey, you might die when you clock in. And they're willing to take that sacrifice for a paycheck, right? So when someone says you might lose your life for God, you're going to pearl clutch at that. But if someone says, hey, you're a cop, you might have to defend a bank, you might be shot by gang members, right? You're going to die defending a bank. People say, oh, so noble. But if you die for your religion, people are like, oh, that's crazy. Explain to me the ethical code if a bank is more important than God, which it's not. And then on 80, I underlined, he who obeys the apostle obeys Allah. Fantastic. This is quite interesting, is it not? Okay, and then on 92 of Nisa, I annotated it. And I annotated 93. Never should a believer kill a believer, but if it so happens by mistake, compensation is due. If one so kills a believer, it is ordained that he should free a believing slave, and pay compensation to the deceased family, unless they remit it freely. If the deceased belonged to a people at war with you, and he was a believer, the freeing of the believing slave is enough. if he belong to a people with whom ye have a treaty of mutual alliance. Compensation should be paid to his family, and a believing slave be freed. For those who find this beyond their means is prescribed a fast for 2 months running, by way of repentance to Allah, for Allah hath all knowledge and all wisdom. 93. If a man kills a believer intentionally, his recompense is hell, to bide therein forever, and the wrath and the curse of Allah are upon him, and dreadful penalty is prepared for him. Interesting, you see? So, people like to point out, like, oh, Muslims do this and Muslims do that, but, again, it says clearly in the Quran, you shouldn't do it, but everybody makes mistakes. Some people get blinded by rage. It happens. 95. Not equal are those believers who sit at home and receive no hurt, and those who strive and fight in the cause of Allah with their goods and their persons. Allah hath granted a grade higher to those who strive and fight with their goods and persons than to those who sit at home. Unto all in faith hath Allah promised good, but those who strive and fight hath He distinguished above those who sit at home by a special reward. Interesting, yes. To keep on keeping on, to not be afraid. I think today you could say on your social media, just defending Islam can be hard in some places, right? More and more, they're going to make it harder, and they might try to get these especially the militant atheist left-wing extremists. You being Muslim, many of them will harass you, call your jobs, try to get you fired, make something up. There's going to be some testing in the future with Muslims. As soon as they finish off the Christians, they're going to come for the Muslims, no doubt. I think so in America. Right now, the Muslims are a tad bit of a minority concerning the Christians, but if you look how the American culture treats Christians, it's only a matter of time before they get to Islam. Right? You can tell a lot about a country in the way in which they treat their religious people. We have freedom of religion, but that doesn't stop the overall degeneracy and mocking of it, right? So people who take the time to talk to people, engage with the people spreading lies, I think that's a beautiful thing. Then on 97, when angels take the souls of those who die in sin against their souls, they say, in what plight were ye? They reply, weak and oppressed were we in the earth. They say, was not the earth of Allah spacious enough for you to move yourselves away from evil? Such men will find their abode in hell. What an evil refuge. And I put a star next to this one because it's literally my goal. My goal is to save money, to escape California, the land of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the technocracy nightmare, and the far left-wing extremists, and the woke mob, and to go to Alaska. Yes. Be out in the space, nature, less people, more connecting with God. That's my goal, because there's too much sin here. It's not worth it. You want to be working Napa? Wine country. Getting people drunk all day. You want to work in Silicon Valley? I don't know, man. It's not my thing. Want to work in this I got a job offer once to work in the San Francisco financial district. And I realized, no. I don't want to. You know? I don't want my kid to just be around so much degeneracy. Too much temptation. Too many gold diggers in California. It's too much. It's too much. And this one really changed me inside because I thought, you can move. I used to get mad when people would say that. If you don't like it, leave it. And I used to say, no, we should try to make it better. And then I realized, sometimes you have to jump the ship. You have to go. You have to let your homeland go. I mean, that's what my family did. Part of them, when they left Italy, got on a boat, showed up in Ellis Island, bam. They moved there. Just take your stuff and go. Mafia's taken over southern Italy. Let's get out. Today, California, you got gangs everywhere. You got degeneracy everywhere. You go buy a burrito in Richmond, there's prostitutes walking up to your car who are drug addicts saying, hey, honey. It's like, I'm eating a burrito. No, it's not good. It's too much temptations. How do you fight against that? If you put yourself in the pit, making excuses, I don't know.